Howard here with Marching Powder from Tommy Bolin from his fabulous teaser album. And I've done a handful of Tommy Bolin videos, tutorials, and I've gotten a lot of requests for doing Marching Powder. I haven't covered any of Tommy's solos yet, but I will be doing that in future lessons. I'll probably do Savannah Woman. I love both the solos that he plays in that. I love all his solos, you know. But Tommy's an improviser, you know. He just goes for it. Everything from kicking an echoplex to going crazy on the whammy bar. But most of those solos are they're just pure improvisations. You know, he's never going to play the same thing twice. I do find them interesting and I do love them, but I think Savannah Woman might be a little bit more specific and easier for people to wrap their heads around. So anyway, here we go with Marching Powder. I've got a pretty grubby distortion tone going for this, and I'm going to be on the middle pickup on my telly. And I'm using a Sonic Cake Rude Mouse distortion pedal that they just sent me. This is not a paid endorsement or anything like that. I had used one of their pedals in my wah-wah video, my George Harrison wah-wah video, and I really liked it, and I let them know about it. And so they sent me one of these to check out, and I think they're going to be sending me some others as well. So I'll put the pedal up on the screen right now so you can see what my settings are. I cannot rave about this pedal enough. This is one of the best distortion pedals I've ever heard, at least to my ears anyway. It sounds great with my telly, and I'm running right now into my Orange Crush practice amp as usual. And I'm a big fan of the Rat distortion pedal. I'm talking too much, I know, but I'm a big fan of the Rat distortion pedal. I really like this puppy. It's really cool. So again, I'll put the settings up on the screen, and here we go with Marching Powder from the mighty Tommy Bolin. So the first thing up here is an E7 sharp 9 chord, the infamous Hendrix chord as they say. You can see it up on the screen, and Tommy opens it up like this. So there's a lot of vibrato on all of these chords that he's going to be playing. But he hits the open E string, then the first note of the chord, the octave, and back. And then sweep across the whole chord and just give the whole chord a vibrato. So we're going to take the first three notes of that chord, which makes it a simple E7, and bring that all the way down to the 3rd fret. So now we've got a C7, and then we'll have a C sharp 7, a half step higher, on the 4th fret, and then finally a D7, okay? So it's pretty rhythmic and pretty percussive. So let's talk about how he does that right there. First things first, after you've played the E7, sharp 9, we play the C7. Okay, so it's 2 strokes on the C7, and he kind of lays heavy on the bass notes. So we've got the chord twice, basically. Mute it. So you've got that same chug-a-chug, 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 with those mutes in between. So you want to hit the chords with downstrokes and then use an alternate stroke for the percussive part. And that's the riff. And he plays that twice before he varies it. So you can hear on that 3rd one, he played it slightly different. The difference is this. So he basically does the same thing on the C7, but he kind of plays the chord instead of muting it out. A little bit like that, okay? And then 2 jabs on the C sharp 7 and the D7, okay? And it's very loose. It's almost like slightly lazily behind the beat, and it just gives it a great feel. So the first 2 are the same. The third one has the variation in it, and then the fourth one goes back to the original way. A bit like that. And that's a really cool opening riff, of course, and it's just grubby and raunchy sounding, and it just sounds great. So then we move into the first melody, which is also quite nice. So let's talk about that melody and how to approach it. It's actually pretty easy to play, but he's using a pretty healthy dose of vibrato in his left hand. So let me just play that for you nice and slow with the tab on the screen. He got to play that before he goes into the next part. So I've added that to the tab there. All right, so let's talk about the chords that he plays next. And you'll definitely want to clean up the sound a bit for these chords just so you can hear the harmonics coming out, you know, the harmony of the chord. You can just back off the output on your guitar a bit, and that should take care of it. The first chord is an F over G, and it's played like so. The A string and the first E string are muted out. And you're just going to carry that chord up a half step, making it an F sharp over G sharp. And then it's back to the melody. And then we get into the midsection, you know, the big jam where Tommy goes crazy. But there's that cool bass lick, okay? And he engages with that later on after he goes crazy, okay? So that's a pretty cool lick, so let's go over that as well. Pretty cool little riff, and of course, as I said, Tommy engages with it later on. And he just plays it wild, right? Just heavy vibrato and letting the notes ring out. So you'll want some heavier distortion for that. And so he kind of plays it like this. Right? He just plays it wild, kind of with reckless abandon. So let me slow that down for you and put the tab up on the screen. And that is all the parts of the song, and I'm sure if you love Tommy Bolin and you love that song, you know what the arrangement is on it, or you can listen to the recording. But it's a really cool song, you know. That was a great period for him, the Teaser album, and also working with Deep Purple on the Come Taste the Band album. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and all the best to everyone as usual. Thanks again to all the subscribers and the wonderful comments that you guys leave, and more videos on the way.